So we're back at it, and this time we're weighing out invisibility, super strength, telepathy, and radiation powers. There was a lot of debate about these four over on TikTok, but now I'm just going to ask you guys, which superpower would you choose? Let's go over the powers with how useful they are in today's world, how much of a threat would you be, and if you need secondary powers to be able to safely use them. Now, first off is visibility. Most that would choose this would eventually just end up on a watch list, if we're being honest, for either being an extreme menace or a top-notch assassin. But how useful is it in today's world? To me, going invis is solely by itself is very problematic. At the base is something that can only turn all of you invisible, not your clothes, not your accessories. So yes, you could creep around and get into various places undetected, but you're going to be naked. So only daily use I see is avoiding getting caught while you're dangling and robbing the city blind, which also rolls into the threat level of this power. Either you're a pro level stalker or assassin. At the most. At the least, are really good at sneaking out past curfew. So I'm giving this a neighborhood threat level. And I challenge anyone to show how you could be a global threat with this. Which brings me to the worst part of this power. What other powers is needed to safely have this? Now, we all know in comics when it comes to powers, they don't apply logic most of the time. It's just, it works cause science, and that's it. Well, riddle me this. If you have the power to turn invisible, and that means all of you, that includes your eyes. You're blind. Congrats, the threat can't see you, and now you can't see them. On top of that, you're super squishy, with no means of defending yourself, which is why they give Invisible Woman force fields, or she would be completely useless to that team. You need to have enhanced strength and durability, and let's not forget about the ability to see, like we mentioned before. The ability to extend the power beyond yourself would also be useful, so you can wear clothes and carry supplies. And the ability to also dampen your sounds would make this a really deadly power, since most people would be loud and invisible. Now, with all that would make you a serious threat. Nowhere near global, but still better than being a overweight, heavy breathing assassin. Next up, we have super strength. Almost everybody at some point wanted to be as strong as the Hulk or Superman. You can use this power in a number of ways in your daily life, but the problem with that is you gotta watch out for the government or any other organization that would try to snatch you up from the public displays of your power. But you can be dope as a mover, a construction hand, a bodyguard, an insane landscaper, a lumberjack. You could never struggle to open a jar again in your life. So what type of threat would this make you? That depends on the level of strength you have. Captain America is an example of a neighborhood threat with his strength. All Might is a good example of someone who could easily be a city level threat, even though we've never seen him have a reason to go nuts and try to destroy anything bigger than a city. Now, Worldbreaker Hulk, he stomped the ground and shook the whole eastern seaboard. So basically, a direct attack from him would destroy a planet. But Superman, that level of strength, easily a universal threat, since he could go on a world-ending spree. So it's really up to how crazy your strength is. But what about the other powers needed to safely have this? Well, strength doesn't mean no pain. So you're gonna need high-end, super bone density, endurance and vulnerability, stamina, because what good is the strength if you're just gonna burn out quick? The super muscle I can't say that word. So the muscles of yours can actually bounce back from all the usage. And I could go on and on, because if you have all that power and nothing backing it up, then every attack you do is gonna have you looking like Deku. Now next up we have telepathy. The ultimate cheat card of socializing. You don't need a great imagination to see how this would be crazy overpowered in day-to-day life. You can know if your partner is cheating, the answers to any test. Know when someone is about to rob the store that you're in, and win every game of guess the number I'm thinking. You can literally have the edge in any scenario when someone in the room has info that you need. And that's just on the reading minds part. If you happen to have the ability to control them with your telepathy, then you're winning in all aspects of life. Unless if you use it to be a demon. If so, I'll pray for you. Now, what does that mean for your threat level? That hugely depends on your level of ability. Marvel has a bunch of examples of telepaths that can only really affect within a small area or within eyesight, which is still powerful, but there's characters like Professor X that with the use of a helmet, he can skull bash you with bleeding speaker messages from across the globe. Even in Logan, him having a headache was killing everyone within distance and the range was growing. So possible at the max, a global threat. Now for additional powers needed, I'm gonna nitpick with this one because it's not, in my eyes, too much is needed, but these would smooth it out. Resistance against vertigo, because if you think about it, you can't really think hard and focus your power if you're about to throw up. I've tried it. Increased speed, because technically a speedster could blitz you before you're aware of their presence. Increased stamina durability, because control over others, it has to be exhausting. I lose energy just talking to people. I couldn't imagine if I was out there making slaves. Increased mental fortitude. I need my own brain strong so it can resist anyone else that has the same power I do. But then again, these powers, they more make it balanced, not really safe. Oh wait, I forgot. The ability to scale back the frequency out the gate. Because if you notice in a lot of depictions of people with telepathy, when the power first turns on, they get overwhelmed and lose their mind from all the information from the minds around them. I don't want that. I don't need the overload. I don't want a week worth of migraines before I figure out how to use my power. Give me remote settings out the box, please. Now, I know what you're thinking though. What about the next power? Radiation control. Nothing better showcases how toxic you are than literally leaking toxic waste as a power. How useful is it in today's world? I'm gonna let the comments fill this part out because it's a power that's only good for destroying. So sure, it could kill a problem. I mean, technically chemo helps kill the problem, but it's a gamble that if you're even gonna survive the solution. So no shocker when it comes to you as a threat. The level is depending on what your output is. You can easily scale up to global if you think about it. All forms of life can be affected by radiation, except for roaches. Them demonic critters can survive almost anything. Now here's the kicker though. What powers do you need to safely use it? Biggest thing is complete immunity to the power itself. I've always respected shows and comics that give characters powers that are so powerful that the user itself would die if they go to use it. And this is most def one of them. Anything else would be just buffing the power. So yeah, make it so you don't choke on your own fart and you're chilling. So who would win if these four would face off? And I think most would pick the telepath, since if they're all in one area, their minds are easy prey. But if the person with radiation powers was shooting off before the mind control is finished, then they're all dead. At least that's what I think. I don't know. You tell me, who are you picking and what uses of the powers did I miss? Subscribe and jump in the comments and let's hash this out.